Hello, welcome to another 4 of another Wavelength. I'm, of course, the Autistic Genius, and this episode is brought to you today by my dressing gown and Spuddy. He says hi. Anyway, today the focus is eye contact. There has been another study and a news report released by ABC News. Well, the study's not by ABC News, the news report is. So anyway, let's just have a wee little watch, shall we?
The confounding mystery that is autism.
Mystery. We all know what it is. So, what do you think, Columbo?
And there's one more thing. One more thing. One other thing.
We know eye contact can be an indicator of risk in young children, but now researchers at Emory University say it is possible newborns can send a subtle warning that they might have trouble ahead.
That is not that is constrained. To think now that the parents. And in, I think this is an American report, so, in America, there could be parents watching this, and their little newborns won't look at them, and they'll just think, oh, no, they're autistic, I've got to take them to the doctors. Well, no, they're newborns, they don't, they're new to the world, they need to start, they're only just, they just appeared at, they just come out here, and they need to learn more. So, the fact that we're saying that there may be trouble ahead because newborns aren't making eye contact with their parents straight away, they can contact with their parents. That to me is very panicky and scaremongering. So I don't like that kind of use the way they've spoke there. But anyway, let's continue. I'm sure it will make sense eventually.
ABC's chief medical editor, Dr. Richard Besser, explains.
Children with autism don't read emotions or faces well. But how could a baby tell you that? Watch where the baby's eyes go. That's the key to today's autism study. At Emory University, eye tracking software shows what this little guy is looking at. Where the X is, that's his focus.
What this study shows us is that there are changes already happening that wouldn't be detectable to the naked eye.
But every parent will notice if their baby's not looking at them or not looking at them, and it's going to scaremonger people. This is... But anyway, let's carry on. Spuddy, what do you think? I agree, let's go.
They studied a group of 36 children, starting at just 2 months old. 3 years later, they found out which ones were diagnosed with autism. Turns out, the children with autism, by 6 months old, spent less and less time looking at the eyes. The bigger the change, the more profound the autism was.
The earlier we diagnose, the earlier we intervene, the better the long-term outcome.
Previous research involved...
Did you see that thing they put on the baby's head? It looks like he's about to eat their fucking brain. This is crazy. Jeez Louise.
Boston had used eye tracking to show that babies take emotional cues from faces, from eyes.
What Emmett is seeing is 3 different facial emotions: neutral, happy, and fear.
We know older children with autism don't make eye contact.
That's a myth that needs to be eradicated. Children with autism do make eye contact. If you don't believe they don't make, if you believe that is fact, then you are wrong. Wrong. Children with autism do make eye contact. They may not make intense eye contact, they might not make continual eye contact, but they do make eye contact. Please stop saying that people with autism don't make eye contact, because it is not true.
Now technology has given us a way to identify autism's earliest clues. What's really exciting about this research is the possibility of detecting autism before a parent or a doctor sees any signs. As a pediatrician, I'd never be able to see these subtle signs, but this eye tracking can do that.
But Rich, you're going to have so many fearful parents tonight studying their tiny children, looking in their eyes for every move.
Yeah, I want to give them reassurance. Little babies, they're looking all over the place. What they're looking here is at subtle changes, the percentage of time that they're looking at various parts of the face. It's not something that is a parent you're going to be able to see, and your child's doctor is going to be screening your child all along the way for the real signs.
So do not make any assumptions about what you're seeing.
Don't do that.
Okay, thank you, Richard.
Well, that was a little reassuring at the end there. They just don't, all babies look everywhere, but yeah, okay, fine. Makes a lot of sense. So what we got from there is that they can spot autism in much younger children, but by tricking where their eyes look, and the children from studies who looked at less at the eyes were the ones that came later on became diagnosed with autism. Okay, that makes a lot of sense, but I'm still a bit on the fence about it, to be honest with you. Let's see what some of you people out there think. I'm going to get some comments from Autism Awareness Facebook page. Andrea Vug Peterson, can't read it, says, totally BS, please do your own research. My son is legally blind, but they tried to tell us he was autistic. What a crock. He is 11, brilliant, not autistic. Most children are not diagnosed with poor eyesight and are misdiagnosed. And my phone's ringing. I know exactly. I'm just going to wait for it to go. Anyway, before I was really interrupted, as that person said, yeah, that's just error of the doctor. We can't really totally, use that as a point, but I can see where she's coming from. This sort of technology could create mistakes in that area, but I doubt it very much because I assume that most doctors are very good. So, fair point. This was quite well, I shouldn't laugh because, Gillian Wheeler, speaking about eye contact, says, actually, not true in all cases. Thanks to research, they may spot it earlier. However, where's the cure? Well, there is no cure. Anyway, but I can see where she's coming from. Thanks to research, they may spot it earlier. But then she's thinking, well, what's next? Well, they're never going to cure it, so don't even bother trying. If they find it sooner, intervention can be made, and then life can be made, and then techniques can be implanted from a much younger age, because it's so much easier to get the techniques in when they're younger, because children are like sponges, they just absorb information. So that's where they're coming from. I suppose that's the cure, intervention at a younger age. Now this is a good one. This is somebody who actually has autism, and his name is Devon Dane. He says, I have autism and so does my younger cousin. We both made eye contact as children. It's a possibility, not a fact based on science, that everyone who can't make contact is autistic. That is such a true statement. That's what I said earlier. It reiterates. I mean, I make eye contact. I'll be honest with you, I don't make eye contact with everybody. I only make eye contact with people I feel most comfortable to be around. If you're a new person or maybe in certain situations where I might feel slightly uncomfortable, I will not make eye contact. I will avoid it at all costs because I don't like it. It just feels uncomfortable. It's just ugh. That's what it feels like. It's like when you look in someone's eyes, you're just like, ugh, I don't like it. It's like when someone gets a stick with poo, sticks it in your face, you're like, oh no, no. It's like that, isn't it, Spuddy? So, you know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I'm 100% with you on that fact. Not really a major study, in my opinion. It's interesting to see that they're working out ways to diagnose it earlier. That's really what they're trying to do. The diagnosis isn't about eye contact. The study's not about how eye contact works. It's more about how to diagnose it from a younger age, which I suppose is a very good thing to do. I mean, the younger it's diagnosed, the better, but I don't like the idea of the scaremongering and people feeling like their children are autistic even if they don't make eye contact with you. That's what I don't feel comfortable about in this article, essentially. But thumbs up to the people making the study. It's obviously you're doing it for the right reasons. Personally, I think it's not quite in the step in the right direction. But if it helps people and it does what they want it to, then fantastic. I am very pleased. Thank you so much for watching. I'm, of course, Autistic Genius. This is, of course, Spuddy. And thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.